So have you ever wondered why it's so hard to lose weight and get back into shape after a certain age? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you why. In one simple word, it's just awareness. Now, what does awareness have to do with why we can't get back into shape? All right, so in 5 easy steps, I'm going to tell you exactly how awareness is going to help you get back into shape. And these are actually things that you can put into place today. So after this video, one thing that's going to be very important is once you learn new information, you have to make sure that you put it into place as soon as you hear it or as soon as you digest it, because this is going to be different from the times that you do it before. When you hear new information, you have to act on it in order for it to actually stick for you. So when I explain these things to you today, these are things that you can become more aware of so that they can start helping you today. All right, so let's jump into the video. So step number 1, the first step is acknowledging that we are all in a trap. It's the nostalgia trap. So what exactly is that? The nostalgia trap is something that kind of molds who we are as individuals. So for me, I'm 40 years old, so most of my molding came from the 90s. That's when we grew up. So the music, the food, the culture, things like that, that's part of my nostalgia trap. And that's where I tend to go when things are uncomfortable. Simpler times, easier times, awesome memories. So the nostalgia trap, it keeps you from learning new information. And it kind of applies the factor to your brain is that I've always done it this way. And because it applies that factor to it, it makes it really hard to accept new ways of doing things, or just accepting the fact that some things you do may be detrimental to the exact thing that you're going after. So the nostalgia trap is something that once you become aware of it, you start to become more conscious of the decisions that you make when it comes to maybe food or, things like that. So that's the first step. Step number 2 is acknowledging where our health education came from. So if you're anything like me, you probably had a couple of health classes throughout your high school and college career. And the thing about our health classes is that if you were anything like me, you probably just did your health class to get a good grade. None of that information was really thought of like, I need to apply this to my life, mainly because, we were all getting taken care of by our parents anyway, so it wasn't really anything that we had to internalize as something that we had to do. So our health education is not very much, and because of that, look at our current landscape. We are in the land of a million influencers, especially health influencers. So, and the reason for this is because nobody really knows anything about health. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, it's just what the fact is. No one sat us down when we were in these classes and gave us a disclaimer, something like, okay, so health is something that you're gonna have to learn how to do for yourself. Not only are you gonna have to learn how to do it for yourself, you're gonna have to learn how to change it as your body gets older. Okay, and then also to put on top of that, you're gonna have to learn how to work out too. And not only are you gonna have to work out, you have to do it for every day of your life. Good luck. That would have been something to start with, I think, but we didn't get that. We just got pushed into the world. So step number 2, acknowledging it's not your fault. We didn't have a very good start. So step number 3 is just declining of healthy habits. So as we get older, things become a lot more difficult to do the way that we used to do. And because of that, it makes us make really fast, bad decisions. Fast food over cooked food, unhealthy drink over water, things like that. So as life becomes faster and becomes more demanding, it forces us to make not so great decisions. So this is one thing that we have to become aware of, because it's not just the fact that we eat the unhealthy food, it's the fact that we eat the unhealthy food frequently. And it's just becoming more aware of the fact of the frequency, which is also one of the things that's going to help you lose the weight, is because you're becoming more aware of it. Maybe start overtaking the amount of healthy food that you get. So step number 4 is a big one. It's realizing that we are not invincible. So when it comes to this one, we are I'm 40 years old right now. So if you grew up around that time period, you knew like in the early 2000s was probably one of the greatest time periods as far as clubbing goes and that party scene. So if you were around in that time period, if you went to college around that time period, you put some wear and tear on your body, just like I did. And it becomes more important now because now that stuff is starting to catch up with us. And it's not pretty, especially if you don't do it consistently. It is not a pretty thing. So with that being said, if you lived a rough life, it is now important to do the things that you need to do. And this comes with getting in shape and making healthier decisions, because believe it or not, we are not superhuman. It's going to catch up to us, and I'd rather do something about it now before somebody forces me to do it and gives me a strict diet that I have to follow, because that increases the difficulty up to here. So that's just another step in the process. Okay, step number 5 just puts it all together, and it's just the act of becoming more aware. So you have to practice these things in order for it to start taking a hold of your life. And the good thing about it is that you get many opportunities to become more aware of the things that you do. Because once we start diving a little bit deeper into this, you'll realize that over the amount of time that we've been alive, we've built up a lot of raggedy habits. And becoming more aware, it starts to uncover a lot of these things. And once you start uncovering them and becoming more aware of them, you start to change them then. And this is the reason why this is so much more effective than like a meal plan. It's because everything that we do is just becoming more aware of the things that we kind of have on autopilot right now. So it's just the act of stopping before you have a snack. Is there something better I can get right now? Or do I actually need a snack? Am I just bored? So just different things you have to kind of start asking, questions you start having to ask yourself before you start making those decisions. Slower decisions ends up being a better decision in the long run. And a lot of these better decisions in the long run are the reason why you don't need a meal plan to get in shape or to lose weight. It's just a series of small, better decisions over a long period of time. And that's it. In 5 easy steps, this is how you can start to change your life today. Now, I encourage you, do this today. You don't have to wait to plan it on a Monday, or you don't have to wait to plan it on a certain day. Just start practicing today, because the more reps you can get in, the faster it's going to start to take hold. Believe me, it does not have to do with a plan. It just has to do with small steps over a long period of time. I appreciate you taking time to watch this video, and I hope you got something out of it. I'll talk to you guys next time.